welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a feel on this set. So of course the first thing that I'm doing is just going in with my extra coarse safety drill bit, and we're just going to go in there and remove the gel polish. So as always, I am using the Scarlet Melody Susie nail drill, and I'm using it at 10,000 RPMs. And then also I did have a little bit of lifting on this pinky. So what I do is I just go in there and file it off. You don't ever want to use a pair of nippers because you're going to make the lifting worse. Now, if it's lifted really bad to where the nail is almost off, then I would suggest just taking the nail off and then replacing it with a new one, because if not, you will get lifting. Alrighty, so we did the exact same thing on this other hand. Again, that was the extra coarse safety drill bit. Next, we're going in with a metal cuticle pusher, and we're just pushing back those cuticles to help expose the new growth and help with reducing lifting. And as always, you can use either metal, wood, or plastic, but as long as it can be disposed of or disinfected. After that, we're going in with a 180 sanding band to remove the shine from the natural nail. This is my real speed right here, so as you can see, very gently just going all the way around that cuticle area, just making sure that we don't leave any little shiny spots behind, because if not, we will get lifting. Make sure that you get as close as you can to that cuticle area, and like I said, just go back and forth. And during this step, I am using my e-file at 5,000 RPMs. As always, if you need to adjust the speed, whether you want it a little bit faster or slower, that is completely up to you. You could also do this step with a regular hand file. Just make sure that it's also a 180. I know there's people out there that are still not comfortable with using an e-file, so like I said, you could always just use a hand file to do all of your filing. The only thing about that is that it is going to take a little bit longer, and then also it is a lot more work on your wrist, and you just don't want to, you know, risk having any wrist damage like myself in the long run. So I went ahead and sped it up, but again, the drill is still going at 5,000 RPMs. And like I said, I will be sure to leave the links down below to all of the tools that I'm using. And if I forget to post the link to anything, just let me know down in the comments and I'll be sure to add it for you guys. Alrighty, so now I'm just dusting the nails to remove any of that dust, and then I'm going to go ahead and wipe my table down. You want to make sure that before you move on to the acrylic application that you clean your table off really good, because you don't want any of that dust to get in your acrylic. So now I'm just going in with the JC Beauty Concepts primer and applying that on the natural nail only, and then I'm going to be using the acrylic also by JC Beauty Concepts. This is in the color Cover Blush, which is my all-time favorite nude acrylic. And then I'm also going to be using their clear, and y'all, their acrylic goes on really good. I've been using it for a few months now, and I definitely recommend it. I know that a lot of people that have switched over to JC Beauty Concepts absolutely love it, so just be sure to go check them out. I do have a promo code for them, so I will be sure to leave that down below, because just like me, I know you guys love a promo code to anything. So we're just filling in this ring finger with the same color that we already had on there, and then for the rest of the nails we are going to be going in and filling them in with the clear. So usually whenever I'm doing a fill, of course, we just go in and apply our bead closer to the cuticle area. Place it as close as you can to the cuticle area, but not on the skin, and then patting it down and gently brushing it down towards the tip. And as always, whenever you are brushing the acrylic down, you want to make sure that you brush down super gently, because you want the product to stay on the nail. If you brush too rough, you're literally just brushing the acrylic off the nail, and you're not really building your nail like you should be. Also, another thing is making sure that as you're working, you're steady looking at your nail from different angles. So you see me steady like moving their finger around. As you can see just there, I lifted it up. That way I'm able to see if I have a strong enough apex and if I have a nice thickness at the tip. If not, I go in and add a little bit more acrylic wherever it's needed. But a lot of the time you can't really tell, you know, how thick your nail is, and you know, if you need to add more acrylic somewhere, unless you look at it from the side, because if you just look at it from the top, like right here, this nail, it looks flawless, you know, really nice and smooth, but we won't know if maybe the tip is too thin or if we need to add more to the apex unless we look at it from the side. So as you seen there, I lifted it up, seeing that I needed to add more at the tip, and I did that. So then I'm going in and adding a little bit more closer to the cuticle area, brushing it down. And then also another thing is making sure that as you're working, you're constantly wiping your brush off a lot on a paper towel, because if not, that product is going to get stuck to your brush, and then you're not going to be able to have a smooth, flawless application, because that product is going to keep getting stuck to your brush. So you want to make sure that, again, you keep your brush really nice and clean, and sometimes you just can't avoid it. So whenever that happens, you can just sit your brush in a little dapping dish with brush cleaner for about 10 minutes and let that soak off. I always keep a spare brush, so I'll just switch over to using my other brush while this one is soaking, and vice versa. So that is one thing to, you know, keep in mind, is to always have a little spare brush. That way you're not just sitting there for 10 minutes or longer while your brush is soaking in brush cleaner. But anyways, we're going to continue to do the same thing on all of the nails. Again, y'all, the main thing about applying acrylic is making sure that when you place your bead, you don't place it too close to the skin, because then you will get lifting, because it's going to be really hard for you to remove that acrylic off the skin. And then whenever you're brushing the acrylic down, making sure that you're brushing down really gently. And then of course making sure that we have a nice apex and a good thickness at the tip. And I know that I always say that a lot, but y'all, it's super important, because I always see a lot of flat, like super flat nails, and then, you know, people are asking like, why did my nails break off, or why did I get lifting? And that's why, because you don't have a good apex or a thickness. So make sure that you are doing this properly. Alrighty, so after we finish applying the acrylic, we're going to go in with my 100 nail file and we're just going to shape up the nail. So of course, going in on the sides and the free edge at exactly a 90-degree angle. We want to keep them at like a tapered square. So we don't want to file too much on the sides because we don't want to make it too narrow. So again, 90-degree angle on the sides and the free edge going straight from the sidewall towards the free edge, and like I said, 90-degree angle at the edge. And I feel like I'm able to get the free edge a lot more straight. Y'all, does that make sense? A lot more straight. Or I'm able to get my free edge really straight when I hold my file at a vertical angle. But whatever works for you is completely fine. You know, there's plenty of ways that you can do this, whether it's holding your file at a vertical angle or horizontally. Like I said, whatever you feel is faster or easier or just better for you is completely fine. Alrighty, so after we finish reshaping the nails, I'm going in with my extra fine drill bit, and you can find these on Amazon. As always, I will be sure to leave the link down below to my Amazon storefront, which is where I list all of the products that I buy from Amazon and that I highly recommend. And all you have to do is just click the link and it will take you to all of my list. I have some for nail supplies, I have some for, or one for all of the materials you need for press-on nails. I have one with all of the items that I showed you guys in my house tour, and a few other lists that I've added on there. And as I buy things and if I like them, then of course I have no problem with recommending them to you guys. But you guys know that I'm not going to recommend anything to y'all if I haven't used it. But anyways, as always, going in around the cuticle area, going from the right side all the way over to the left side, going back and forth until you're able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way you know that the acrylic is not on the skin. And then also making sure that we follow the rest of the nail to make sure that it's all nice and smooth. And as a beginner, you are gonna have a little bit of a hard time trying to, you know, get your nails to not be as bumpy and lumpy and thick. But if that is the case, then all you have to do is just spend a little bit more time when you're filing, and then just like whenever you're applying the acrylic and you're looking at your nail from different angles, you would have to do the same thing, just looking at your nail from the sides to see where you need to file a little bit more, because you will be able to see every single bump and lump from the side. So like I said, just spend a little bit more time during this step. And then also, if you feel like you're doing everything correctly when it comes to prepping the nail, applying your nail tips, applying your acrylic, but you're still getting lifting, most likely you're not filing around this cuticle area really good. You want to make sure that this cuticle area is nice and sealed, because if not, you will get lifting, because any little moisture, whether it's water, lotion, face serum, whatever, hand sanitizer, anything that gets trapped in between the acrylic and the natural nail will cause the nail to lift and then possibly cause a little greeny, and we don't want that. So make sure that you seal the cuticle area really good. Even if you have to slow your drill down a lot more when you're doing this step, that is completely fine. Like I said, this is an extra fine drill bit, so it's not too sharp. You still have to be kind of careful when you're using this one, because you still can cut someone. So like I said, just slow it down if you need to. Like whenever I'm using it during this step, I actually use it at 10,000 RPMs. So it's not too slow or too fast, but just adjust it to your liking. Alrighty, so after we finish all of the filing, we're going to go in with a buffer, and this is just going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nails from the hand file or the e-file. So make sure that you buff those nails really good. And then as you can see, I always run my thumb over the top of the nail. That way I can feel for any scratches. And if I still feel like it's a little bit rough, then of course I go in and buff the nail some more. That way, like I said, I'm not able to see any of those scratches through my polish or my top coat. So after we finish buffing the nails, we're going to go in and just dust the nails off. And then you can either have your client go wash their hands, or you could also just wipe them off with an alcohol wipe, which is what I always do. Alrighty, so after I finish wiping the nails off, then they're ready for the polish. So the color that I'm going to be using today is Perfect Black by Madam Glam. You guys know that I love their gel polishes. They go on really good, and the coverage is absolutely amazing. So definitely recommend them. And as always, I'll be sure to leave the link down below for you guys. But what I'm going to be doing is just going in and doing a really low French tip on this one. So as you can see, it's really just literally like a tip, and then but making sure that it like comes up from like the cuticle area, so making it like long on the sides and then kind of narrow at the free edge, if that makes sense. And I'm using my small marble nail brush, which I will have these back on my website pretty soon when I restock. I am planning on relaunching my website either at the end of this month or February 1st, most likely February 1st, but as always I'll keep you guys updated. Usually whenever I post about my website, I post on my Instagram first, so be sure to go follow me on Instagram at getno32 so you are updated on any really on anything, whether it's giveaways or my website, or just to check out all of my new pictures from the sets that I do on the daily. Alrighty, so we're just gonna go in and cure this hand for 30 seconds under my Madame Glam Holly lamp, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing on this other hand. So doing the French tip on the ring finger and then doing the rest of the nails all black. Alrighty, so next we're going to go in with the gel polish, also by Madam Glam, in the color Perfect White. And we're just going to use this to outline the smile line on this nail. And then we're also going to draw a little horizontal line on all of the nails at the very tip of the nail. So like on the free edge. And we're going to just do that on all of the nails. And then of course curing them for 30 seconds. Alrighty, y'all, so now we're gonna go in with the top coat, and I am using the Coupa top coat. I'll be sure to leave the link down below for you guys. And we're just gonna do that on all of the nails and then curing for 60 seconds. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look, and y'all, I am absolutely in love with this black. Like, I never really paid attention to how good black nails look. I also polished her toes with the black, and yo, I think my next set is definitely gonna be black. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at getnail32, and I will see you guys next time.